folks. Got an interesting question here, and it's Glock versus PDP. Let me go ahead and read it for you. How would you compare the Glock and the Walther PDP? Isn't the latter one better and just as reliable? So, reliability aside, like I think they're both pretty reliable. Like the Glock, to me, it has a track record of reliability where it's like I trust the Glocks more just because they've been used for a long time and they've been basically been reliable that whole time. The PDPs, in my usage of them and watching people use them, it appears to be about as reliable as the Glock. Sure, let's accept that. But you say this one's better than this one. It's kind of like, yeah, I get where people would think that. Like the things that I like better about the PDP, the factory trigger. Like I like it. It's a little bit of take up, nice and smooth, press through. I do like the factory trigger. Like the frame on it, for whatever reason, it feels friendly to me. And a lot of people report this. Like the predecessor for the PDP, it looks very similar, but in ways that are hard to articulate. I really didn't like the frame, the Q5 I'm talking about. This one, it looks very similar, but the frame, it feels a lot better. And again, it's in ways that are hard to articulate, but most people that compare the two, they report the same thing. It's like, wow, the PDP just feels nice. And those two things on the PDP, I do like better. Again, factory trigger, and I like the ergonomics here. Now, there's other things that aren't as good to me. Now, first, the recoil impulse. Like the Glock, and again, a lot of people report this, the Glock feels softer. Like it doesn't snap as much. The sight rises less, like substantially less. It's not that the Glocks are really soft shooting pistol. I think compared to other, similar size and weight striker fired pistols, I would say the PDP feels like it snaps more. Now, that's not a huge deal. It's just, that's how like shooting them side by side, you'd be like, the PDP definitely recoils more, or feels like it recoils more. The other thing I don't love as much on the PDP is the magwell. I find this gun substantially more difficult to reload quickly. Can I reload it quickly? Sure. It's just more difficult. The Glock, even without the plug here, the Glock is, in my opinion, much, much easier to reload. So, like, actually shooting them side by side, I don't think there's a big difference in scores for me. Probably I get better scores with the Glocks. That makes sense. You can see this Glock has been modified. It gets the grip tape and the Apex shoe, has a plug. Like it's been shot more. Like I've shot this gun more and shot it harder. I haven't gone as nuts with the PDPs, but I like them just fine. Now, a lot of times when we're talking about gun preferences, it's kind of like, to me, I don't feel that strongly about this stuff where obviously I like Glocks and these are easy to recommend to people. It's like, yeah, you should look at a Glock. Why? It works for a lot of people. It's got a good track record of working well. Tons of aftermarket support. Like if you pick these up and hold it and you're like, yeah, I like this. This is cool. Like, I think this will work for me. You'll probably have a pretty good experience with the Glock. If you don't want that and you're like, hey, I like this one better. This feels better. Yeah, I think that's great. I think you should get the PDP. And the same goes like the M&P 2.0s, for example. It wasn't that I came around on those. It's mostly like the M&P 1.0 had so many issues that I think a lot of people didn't pay attention to the 2.0. And I think the 2.0s are pretty good. I think they're good guns. And there's there's a lot of other stuff, but it's like these guns are really pretty similar. There's little nuanced differences. And then, pick the one that honestly, like subjectively you like better. Let me give you an example. Like I started my competitive shooting days with this. It's Beretta 92 GSD. So it has the thick slide and then it's decock only. So I push down on the what normally would be the safety on a Beretta, let it go, decock only. Like back in the day, I just thought this gun was cool. And like the fact that I thought I had a cool gun encouraged me to practice with it. And that probably in this situation counts for more. It's like get the one that you're like, I like this. I just like this one better. This one feels better to me. Because then maybe you'll be motivated to actually practice with it. Yeah, but there it is. Glock versus PDP.